Hello everyone, welcome back to Guess the ELO, where I would be analyzing your games and try to guess your ELO. So today we are going to again discuss two games and try to guess the player's ELO. So both the games are of our subscribers, so it's going to be very much fun. So let's begin. So, so we have the first game, which is I am Aditya versus Fire Mishi. Aditya is playing with white and he is our subscriber. And he starts with 1 e4. Okay. We have d5, e cross g5, and now we have e6. Okay. So already the usual way for black to continue is to simply capture the pawn with the queen. And we have the Scandinavian defense, where the queen can go back to a5. Basically the queen goes to c7. That is the whole idea. Instead, black played e6, trying to sacrifice the pawn, but white did not took the pawn. Aditya did not took the pawn. He developed the knight. So white can take the pawn. It's sort of a gambit type, I would say, because black is a pawn down, but black is having a much better development, which makes sense. After e6, we have knight c3. Aditya is also denying the fact that he don't want to get behind in development. So now he decided to develop his piece. First of all, I think the knight kind of does not belong on c3. Either you can take the pawn or you should try to develop your king side pieces. That is the usual way to continue, because usually white wants to put the pawn on d4 and pawn on c3, making a nice structure. But when you put your knight on c3, you are already kind of blocking your own pawn on c2, which is definitely not an good idea. ED5, so I already believe both the players are definitely below 1500 for sure. D4, C6. Okay, so black is having this particular knowledge of making kind of a symmetry with the pawn structure. Knight to F3, developing the pieces. And now H6 by black. I think black wanted to play knight F6, but he got afraid of bishop G5, because now there is a pin. Many players in the chess world are afraid of pin with the bishop. So first he is trying to play h6, but there is nothing happening. You can definitely play. You can either develop your bishop. That also makes sense. But okay, h6, not a bad move at all. Bishop d3, developing the piece. Bishop goes to e7. So already, the usual way for black to continue here is to develop the knight. Why to develop the knight before the bishop? Because we are kind of not sure where the bishop goes. Maybe the bishop can go to e7, or maybe the bishop can even go to d6. So that's why the knight first go on f6. But bishop e7, okay, not bad at all. h3, white not going short castle, but first playing h3, stopping bishop g4 maybe. Knight to f6, short castle, and now we have rook e1. Okay, so far so good. Both the players have not, kind of made some inaccuracies, but okay, that's fine. Bishop e6, bishop f4. Okay, so the bishop developed on e6. I thought that black can play rook e8, knight d7, knight f8, and think where the bishop can go. Maybe on d7, maybe on e6. Yeah, but okay, never mind. Bishop e6, bishop f4, knight d7. So both the players following some basic fundamentals of chess, which is good to see at least. Developing the pieces and finishing their development. Queen d2, yeah, that's a very good move, I believe. And now maybe, I don't know, maybe there could be some sacrifices on h6 that makes sense. Knight goes to b6, and now we have the bar giving +2 in this position to white, because in the game we have bishop into h6. Okay, sacrificing the piece, that's exactly what I was talking about. And yeah, can you believe this? Now we have a sacrifice on h6, and this is completely winning for white. How to win the position is another question. I believe white's idea is to play knight g5 with the idea of bishop h7, and that's game over, because you can't play bishop h7 first, because black will simply capture the bishop with the knight. And actually, at the place of knight d7, what would have been the best way? The best way would have been rook e8, because if white goes for the same thing, now black is having bishop f8, bishop g7, which protects the king, and black is absolutely fine. That is why rook e8 is such a important move in such positions. Knight b6, definitely not a good move. Takes, rook e8, rook into e6. Wow, rook into e6 was a move that I simply missed. But okay, what is the idea? Okay, black took and now knight g5. Okay, If white plays knight g5 like instantly, okay, then black is having bishop f8. Wow. And now white wants to give check on g6, but there is already a pawn on f7 that blocks the g6 square. And that's something amazing. Takes knight g5. Bishop goes to d6, queen g6 check. Queen f7 is a checkmate. Wow. Such a perfect game played by I am Aditya. Like, it's hard to believe. Like, okay, he developed the knight. Like, this was the only move where I felt that white is not doing, white is somehow doing not the best, and h3 was the second way. Like, some inaccuracies, but overall the perfect game, developing the pieces, even seizing the opportunity. And the mind-blowing move that I saw in the position here is rook into e6, which is simply a mind-blowing move. Knight g5, queen g5, queen f7 is a game over. Okay, now let's try to assess the rating. So black, I think, played with a rating of 1100, I would say, because like black made some very bad decisions, putting the knight on b6, playing bishop e7, playing h6, yeah, putting the bishop on e6. There were many mistakes that black did, which are of absolutely beginners. So I would say black is having the rating of definitely around 1000, below 1050, 1050, like below. Okay, let's take it to 1040. Yeah, my guess is 1040 for black. And white, I think white actually played a very strong game. If black would have also played a good game, I would have definitely give white average rating of 1700 to 1800. But still, I would definitely give this to white. Like, I would say at least 1300, at least 1300. I would say white is having the rating of 1300, black is having the rating of 1040. So let's check it out and let's try to see what are the actual elos. Okay, so I am Aditya is having the rating of 1200 and Firemashi is having a rating of 1020. So we were definitely too close. I was definitely way too close. 100 points different, and Firemashi was having 1020. Yeah, as per the guess, like 20 rating points. It was too close. So yeah, this was the first game. It was a very interesting game, and now we are going to check out the second game, which was once again played by the same subscriber. So let's do it. So now, jumping to the second game we have on the board. So this game is played between Marco Polo 123 with the white pieces versus I am Aditya. So Marco Polo starts with 1e4. We have c6, the Caro-Kann defense. Knight to f3, d5, e5. Okay, e6. Not the best way to play. Not the best way to play. You develop the bishop. You should develop the bishop, and then you should close the pawn structure. Because after e6, what happens now? Your bishop on c8 is already bad piece. That is the whole idea. d4, c5, kind of playing the French. Too obsessed with French. c3, knight c6. Bishop goes to b5, bishop to d7. And now there are already some ideas with knight e5 that white needs to be taken care of. Bishop c6, bishop c6, a3. Okay, so white playing a very good opening, I would say. White's idea is basically to play b4 now. f6. Okay, so black is usually having two breaks, f6 and c5. So basically, at least both the players know the theory, how the game begins, what are the ideas. At least both the players know, so I'm pretty glad. Bishop e3. Okay, so if white takes the pawn, black can maybe take with the knight, develop the bishop, castle up. You can even take with the pawn actually, keeping a large center. But okay, we have bishop e3 instead, and now we have fe5, which does not look a good move to me. So what is the idea? Bishop e3, maybe the idea could be to take on c5. So maybe black should play c4, and yeah, maybe that's how black can even play queen b6, maybe putting more pressure at some point. I'm not sure, but that's how maybe the game can proceed. We have fe5 and now knight e5. That's the main problem. Now white is having a beautiful knight on e5, and now at the same time queen h5 threats are also there. cd4, cd4. Okay, so I think queen h5, just queen h5. If you move the king, I can give a check, and white is already better. If g6, maybe I'm having knight g6. If he takes, I can take the rook. which is actually winning for black. But actually black is having knight f6, attacking the queen. And now, like, white is hanging two pieces. That is the main issue. But actually, after g6, white can play the move queen f3 with the idea of threatening mate in 1. And after queen e7, now bishop into d4 is much better for white. But instead, white missed this, which is kind of pretty obvious. cd4, knight f6, bishop to g5. Moving the same piece twice is definitely not a good idea to play. That's not how you play chess. Your king has not castled yet. You have not developed your knight. How can you move your e3 bishop once again when nothing is even happening? Bishop goes to e7, takes f4. So white is kind of obsessed with the idea of cementing his knight on e5. If black takes, he can take with the, I don't know, he can take. If he takes, there is queen h4 check. He can't take with this pawn, which, like, there is still queen b6, which is already a bad idea. And actually the best way for white to continue here is queen h5, and it's hard to believe that white will be able to see this. It's hard to believe. Black played the move short castle, and now we have short castle. Bishop b5. Once again, black can take here. If takes, queen h4, and believe me guys, this is better for black because white has not developed his pieces yet. So this is definitely a good position for black because of some concrete issues. Bishop goes to b5, rook goes to f2, takes, check. Rook goes to f8. And now, already 3 movement ideas. Knight goes to d2, white lost a pawn, white lost another pawn, queen e4, a6. Okay, wow. Okay, you guys can pause the video and try to find the winning continuation. It's basically 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2. It's 2 movement. That's it. Okay. Check. Mate. 2 movement. That's it. Game is over. Yeah. So that was the game. Once again, I am Aditya played a very good game to win against his opponent. Let's try to do this recap. He could have developed his bishop. Now he played pretty fine chess. Bishop e3. X was a bad decision. And now knight f6, bishop g5, bishop e7, and here black should have took. It required some calculation. Sorry, black should have. In the game we had, yeah, short castle, right, which is fine actually. Now he should have took, because now, okay, that's exactly what not happened. But he should have took over here. Queen h4 is simply winning. Instead he played the move bishop b5, which is kind of fine, and he eventually won, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, overall a very good game. Once again, as we know, I would say, yeah, we have already seen the rating of Aditya is having the rating of 1200, and his opponent must be having around, let me think, let's try to review the game once again. His opponent took, first of all, giving the bishop pair to his opponent. Second, developing bishop e3, which is kind of fine. And now missing queen h5, I'll deduct point for that. 2. Now 3, bishop g5 is definitely such a bad move. It's a very bad move, believe me. So I'll definitely deduct too many points for this. Takes f4. And now, come on, f4. Your king is still in the center. How can you even think of playing f4? But that's fine. And eventually, yeah, the king is simply busted. So definitely I would say white is having the rating of 101. How much? 1010? I would say around 1000. 1010 is my guess. Aditya is having 1200 rating. So let's jump in and let's try to see the ratings. So Aditya is having 1039. How did he lost such rating points? Like, his play is such clean. How is he only having the rating of 1039? Okay, our guess was 1200 on the basis of the previous game, but Marco Polo 1013. We were too close, like 3 points difference. So definitely we are getting closer and closer, improving day by day, and it's getting more fun. So yeah, we have discussed 2 games, analyzed these two games, tried to guess these elo, and it was definitely fun. So yeah guys, that's it for this video. So if you want your games for me to analyze and try to guess your elo, try to make sure to please send me your games on my Gmail ID, which kind of shown over here. And yeah, I'm going to definitely analyze these games in the episode number 4 of Guess the Elo, and it's going to be fun. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like it, share it, and subscribe it if you are new to our channel. I'm going to come up with these more interesting chess videos like this, so till then stay tuned and keep watching One Shot Chess. Bye bye.